Hello. I'm currently in Costa Rica. I have been staying at this beautiful place that has no windows, no walls, no doors. I just sleep in a mosquito net. That's been pretty crazy. I feel like I've been pretty brave with that. Last night I found a tarantula on my couch. So we're really in the wild. Last night I went on a nature hike, a night hike with a local, and we saw one of the vipers here that is the most deadly in all the area. So I had a little bit of a harder time sleeping knowing that there's all these crazy things. But anyway, I am here because I believe I manifested this place. Every time I was in my somatic therapy sessions, they asked me to create a safe place where I can go inside myself and feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. And I didn't realize it until I got here, but in my therapy sessions, I would see myself in a hammock in a tropical forest. And people were asking, is it just a metaphor? Is it just somewhere? But I didn't realize it until I actually got here, that it's a real place, that I believe that my thoughts created this. And so I think that our thoughts are quite powerful. And I do believe that whatever we think about is what we are creating. I'm just new at that, so that's interesting. I don't know where that's going to go. But it's 95% humidity here too, so I'm kind of on the glistening side. But I did write down some of the cool things that have happened over the past 6 days. The first is like my dream life has been incredible. I've been getting lots of messages inside my dreams. I don't know if you guys get that. Sometimes, when dreams, like you wake up and dreams are fleeting, you just think, oh, that's nothing. And it probably could be, but the ones that like stick with you throughout the day, you're like, oh, what is that? There's maybe some messages in there or something. So interesting. In one of my dreams, I came across 3 girls that were in addiction, and my old way, would be like get to an AA meeting and, have an accountability partner and that kind of stuff. But in my dream, I was teaching them about manifestation, about what you think, thinking about who you want to be, who you want to become, and then feeling it, truly feeling what is it going to be like when I have that thing, when that girl or those girls have true sobriety. What is it going to be like? How is it going to feel? What's around? How are you going to behave? What's in your daily life? And then to just start doing that. And so that was interesting. And I woke up and I went, oh, wow. I also had another, I have some notes here. I'm new at this. I had another dream about that I was a manager of a football team. And I was in charge of getting them to advertise some products because they were big celebrity kind of guys and that. And when I gave them their like T-shirts that they had to wear, it was like this, they were embarrassed. They didn't want to wear the shirt that had like some derogatory terms, and they were complaining that it would be, offensive to the fans and that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And when I woke up, I realized, when I need to create a clear intention, the directions, the intention, my thoughts as well. So when I'm like placing an order for these shirts, I can't just like place an order for anything. I need to place an order for something specific on these shirts. This is what I want to look, what I want it to say. This is what I want to evoke in people, or whatever the case. And I feel like that's again part of manifesting, is that if you just let your thoughts go all willy-nilly, then I think the universe is just going to bring that back to you just willy-nilly. But if you say, this is specifically what I want, and this is how I want it to look, and this is the color, and this is the feel, and this is the outcome, I feel like that was that was really powerful for me. Yesterday I did a forgiveness list. I just was prompted to do that. I don't know if you guys have ever done a forgiveness list, but I felt myself brewing about a bunch of people that have been harming me, or I feel like that they've slighted me in some way. So I created this forgiveness list, and I put every single person down, and then I intentionally went to each person and I said, hey, this is how I feel like you didn't support me. This is what I really needed. And I release you, I forgive you and release you from my judgment. And so I ticked down the list, but there was some that was extra hard. There was extra hard for me to do. And I heard these scriptures coming back to me that I haven't heard for a really long time. And the scripture was, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so much easier now, because like people don't go out of their way typically to harm you. It's most of the time they have no idea that they've done it, and it's up to us to unhook that hook in our heart and let it go, because really, like, unforgiveness is like drinking the poison and hoping the other dies, right? And so I wanted to release myself from forgiveness. I wanted to forgive them and release them, from this, from these things that I feel they slighted me at. And so that was super interesting. And as I was doing my forgiveness list, a dragonfly landed. I don't know, do dragonflies have any meaning? The internet says so, but for me, it was just like it was just like a little sign from nature just saying that I'm on track. So that was super interesting. Another day, while I was here, I was sleeping. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning because they have howler monkeys here, so that's interesting. And it's bright and loud. I don't have any windows or walls, so it's always the forest is very noisy all the time, day and night. So anyway, I went back to bed around 9 o'clock. I had been up for 5 hours by that time, 9 a.m. And I got woken up at 10 with a voice that said, "Come, get up. You don't want to miss this." And I was like, okay, who's talking? Not really sure what that is, but I really just immediately said, no, I'm sleeping. I need to sleep now. And I heard the voice again said, get up, you're going to miss it. And so I just got up and I put my flip-flops on and I went out into the forest. I had no idea where I was going, but I felt like led down to different paths until I finally made it to an area where I just stopped, and a neon green and black frog that you might see at the zoo, there it was, just right in my path. And it just hopped in front of me, and then it just stretched out and it showed me its whole body, and it was really cool. It just stayed there for a little bit, and then it hopped away. And then I heard the voice say, okay, you can go back now. And so I thought, oh wow, is this God? Is this my higher self? Is this angels? I don't really know specifically who's talking at the moment. I am going to learn, but I also feel like that was an exercise in learning. So that was pretty cool. So I've learned quite a bit here about myself. I've had lots of angel numbers, I guess. I don't really know fully about what those are, but somehow they seem to just hit me in the stomach. This morning I was laying in bed and I got up at 555 and I had 55 battery. I'm like, well, that's 5 5s. That's interesting. And I'll have 1111 or 111, 444. All these numbers are just starting to come to me. And apparently they have some meanings, which is about spiritual awakening, or you're on track, or you're stepping into abundance. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. This is my journey so far, and I have super gratitude that I was able to create this place for myself and my spiritual healing. And stay tuned for the next chapter.